Been after these roles for years and years. Lucky enough, I was fortunate enough to have roles like Drax that kind of put me out there and get, let people see what I was able to accomplish as an actor. But definitely, they've afforded me the luxury to pursue, dramatic roles.
Yeah!
I wanna put on my boogie shoes.
What was the feeling when you found out you were cast in a Shyamalan's movie? Was it terrifying, like, oh my god, crazy stuff is gonna happen in this movie? Or more like, yay, I'm gonna have so much fun?
It was kind of both, I guess. It was a mixture of feelings. It was also one of those things where it was very surreal. I was gonna be able to work with a director I respected very much, but also I was gonna get a huge opportunity to finally, get a really pure acting lead role. So it was a big deal for me.
I was excited, but I was terrified. Yeah, I found the script so intimidating, and I was definitely like, yes, this is amazing. But I also was like, okay, I'm gonna really have to go there. Like, this is gonna require a lot of acting muscle. It's gonna be very exposing. I don't think I've ever read in a script so much that I'm meant to cry and scream, and just the moments felt so massive, the stakes felt so high.
I was driving in my car in New Hampshire, and because Knight called us all to tell us personally, that's like his thing that he does, to tell before your agents call you. And so I didn't have good service, and it didn't ring, but suddenly I had a voicemail from Knight saying that I was cast in the movie, and I was not anticipating how intense the experience of doing the movie was actually going to be. So I was blissfully ignorant about the sort of emotional intensity that the scene work required.
Why are you here?
I suppose I'm here to make friends with you. And your dad's too. But my heart is broken.
Why is it broken?
Because of what I have to do today.
So you said the script for Knock at the Cabin was the fastest you had written in your career. What did you find in Paul Tremblay's book that drew your attention and made this adaptation process so easy, so quick?
It's such a beautiful premise that he wrote, and the characters he introduced, he did so much of the heavy lifting for me that I just could be inspired by the setup and just start writing.
This year you're saying goodbye to Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. In recent interviews, you said you'd like to explore now other territories like drama. Is Glass Onion and Knock at the Cabin part of this new venture?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's it's one of those things. I've been after these roles for years and years. Lucky enough, I was fortunate enough to have roles like Drax that kind of put me out there and get, let people see what I was able to accomplish as an actor. But definitely, they've afforded me the luxury to pursue, dramatic roles. But as far as Drax, I've done 7 films as Drax over 10 years. So it's definitely, I'm in my mid-50s now. I don't know how much longer my career will last, so it's definitely time to move on.
In a world where superhero movies and streaming services are making all the money, do you still think it's possible to tell deep, meaningful stories with a small budget in a small production?
I do. I would break down what you just said. I would say the streamers are losing tons of money, which is the reality of the situation. They're all losing tons of money, and the superhero movies are consistently making money, and in a way it's because they are the broadest version of family films that we have seen, and they're male-driven family films, which is an unusual thing. Like, the dads are saying, let's go, and taking the whole family. So in that way, I understand why they're successful in bringing, so many people to the movie theaters. But absolutely, audiences want new stories and want new voices.
We were called and are united by a common vision, which has now become a command that we cannot ignore.
Even though Knock at the Cabin's not about Shyamalan's usual superhumans like Mr. Glass, Kevin, David, there's still a hero at the end. Do you believe in happy endings? Do you think humanity can still be saved by humans themselves?
Yeah, I do. It sounds simple, and maybe to some people it sounds hokey, but I believe in that message very much. And it doesn't have to be taken literally, the message of this film. It doesn't have to be that, human sacrifice. It's just, a little sacrifice from everyone every day. And I'm that person. I'm proud to be that person I think I'm a very giving person, and I'm willing to give my shirt off my back, or, I want to help people. But I can say that I've been on the other end of that. I've been homeless, and I've been hungry, and I've, had nothing, and I've had no money to buy my kids things, and so I grew up very poor, so I know what that feels like, and this that might be why I'm so willing to help people.
Oh, I'd love to think so. I'd love to think that we actually, at some point, collectively group together and start operating in a different way, and realize that we haven't, unless we change, we're not gonna be here for that much longer.
There I see a woman carrying something that looks like a pick with a chain and a mallet in it.
You see, the four of us have a very important job to do.
Part of the fun of the movie, I think, is that I'm not sure. And so you see both sides of me. I'm not sure that I trust people. I'm not sure. And then part of me does really believe in each other. And there's moments that I have my doubts, and then moments that I'm feeling, like we can do this. And the characters go through that process of the darkness and whether to believe it's happening, whether it doesn't. And I think that's fun for the audience to kind of go back and forth during the movie. The great part is the audience doesn't trust me, which is great, so that it could go either way at any time.
Had you seen any of Shyamalan's movies before shooting Knock at the Cabin? Do you have a favorite one?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. I've seen all of them by far. I think Sixth
A huge fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I mean, how can you not be? Sixth Sense
Yes.
blew me away. I'll never forget watching it, and I'll never forget, the twist at the end. I was just blown away. But going back and watching, I could still go back and watch that film and process it 100 different ways, because it's absolutely brilliant.
The Village is my favorite film of his. It would go Village, then Signs. I love Signs.
Yes.
So I think it's like a kind of a perfect film. But The Village for me, I just love the setting so much. I love the world he created. I love the performances in it.
The Sixth Sense, mine. It's very standard.
Classic.
Yeah, classic. Thank you.
It's classic.
Thanks.
Your family has been chosen to make a horrible decision. If you fail to choose, the world will end.